seems to me that wherever you look in nature, rocks, the ocean, the clouds, the weather and so on, everything is quite special. The thing of creativity is in the mind. It's the creation of the mind. So it's not the room or even the brush or the paint. It's when you're having breakfast or going for a walk or falling asleep, whatever. That's the crunch, that's the part. The room where you work or what you do is the least interesting part. What I discovered was that with a pencil in your hand or a pen, you have a way of looking at things because you have to, really what you have to do is to condense, because looking at things is so complex, that when you come to draw a line, you have to make choices. I mean, it's all rather obvious the more you think about it. And it's in it's in choosing what lines you do that's what you might call the discipline of the eye comes into play, because of the complexity of things, and that in its turn sort of trains the eye. So the more the eye becomes familiar with the complexity of how things are, anything can be anything, any subject you like, from a sunrise to an insect walking across the grass. You're trained then, you're self-trained to be able to observe something very simple. The strangest thing is that the more simple it is, the more profound it becomes. That's the strangest thing. It's a very strange phenomenon. I don't know how or why it's like that, but that's how it seems to me. The more direct you can focus on what your eye is telling you, the more you focus on something which is your inner, what we might call the inner self thing. The actual cliffs and rocks represent what you might call deep time rather than our sort of time. You're actually looking at something which is maybe millions and millions of years old. So what you're looking at is the result. So sometimes you see the rocks are vertical, sometimes right next to that is horizontal. And one's looking at the Earth's crust in a vastness which is completely unknown to us, only unimaginable really. So all of those factors all come into play when one stands on a cliff watching the seagulls in their whirling round in their eddies in the air, which of course you can't even see, because after all you can't see the air, but the birds relate to it the way they fly. You couldn't live in wonder because it would be counterproductive. It wouldn't be wonder anymore, it'd be very ordinary. But every so often you fall over something and it's truly amazing or wonderful. But its very nature is a kind of rarity.